18 miles from the southwestern shore of the Canadian province of New Brunswick lies the island of Grand Manan. 120 square miles of rock, sand, and forest guarding the mouth of the Bay of Fundy. Reachable by modern car ferries from the mainland town of Black's Harbor, Grand Manan welcomes its visitors to one of the last true island experiences anywhere. The beauty and charm of Grand Manan spring from two sources: its breathtaking natural environment and the values and way of life of its 2,700 year-round residents. Grand Manan and the neighboring island of Whitehead are a wonderland of natural beauty and a sparkling delight to their guests. This maritime oasis is the perfect spot for an individual or family vacation. Each year, thousands of visitors marvel at the natural splendor of 400-foot jagged rock wall cliffs, paddle the shimmering ocean waters, and witness island life, whale fishing, whales, and seabirds at close quarters. Although the French explorer Samuel de Champlain mapped the shores of Grand Manan in 1613, the first permanent settlers did not arrive on the island until 1784. In that year, 50 families took up residence near today's village of Grand Harbor. In 1803, the village of Seal Cove was founded, and by 1851, Grand Manan boasted a population of almost 1,200. Today, Grand Manan comprises 5 communities: North Head, Castalia, Woodward's Cove, Grand Harbor, and Seal Cove, which make up the municipality of Grand Manan. Whitehead, just 3 miles offshore, is connected to the main island by a small car ferry and has a population of about 200. The island communities are all bordered by the sea, and while sometimes harsh, the boundless ocean still provides a ready supply of the fish, which have been the island's industrial mainstay for over 200 years. While many islanders make their living from the sea, tourism has also become a vibrant industry, and Grand Mananers annually welcome thousands of visitors to their maritime way of life. The natural environment of Grand Manan, of course, centers around the ocean. The Bay of Fundy tides are among the most dramatic in the world, and tides on Grand Manan range from 19 to well over 25 feet. The island's rugged coastline, harbors, and bays provide some of the most spectacular scenery on view anywhere. The picturesque communities offer a stunning setting for a vacation experience that is unforgettable and unique in the very best sense of the words. A visit to Grand Manan can be packed with activities from one end of the island to the other. Endless summer days can stretch out into an array of exciting options for all. And at day's end, a number of cozy bed and breakfasts, oceanside cottages, and romantic island inns await you. While many will want to take a leisurely walk on one of the island's quiet beaches, the more adventurous will want to enjoy the beauty of the island from the water. And sea kayaking is just the ticket. Cyclists will also find Grand Manan refreshing. The island's main road and other paved side roads take the rider through the picture postcard villages. Bicycles are a familiar sight on island roads, and traffic is courteous and usually light. It is possible to see most of the major attractions in a few days, taking time to enjoy the unsurpassed scenery. For the golfer, the island boasts a 9-hole golf course tucked snugly in the scenic village of Seal Cove. From here, you can not only try your hand at the rolling fairways and greens, but also take in excellent views of the village nearby. Should you prefer to see some of the island's natural beauty on foot, a well-maintained series of hiking trails crisscrosses the island and its coastline. Island hiking allows you to take in even more of the unspoiled natural surroundings. Trails lead you to such attractions as Swallowtail Lighthouse and the Hole in the Wall in North Head, a seaside rock pillar punctured by erosion. Geologically, Grand Manan is an unusual combination of Triassic period volcanic rock in the east and much older pre-Arcadian sedimentary rock in the western three-quarters. One of the best-known geologic formations is the 7 Days Work, a rugged cliff with 7 separated layers of lava flows, and the flock of sheep, granite boulders left atop a jagged cliff by the retreating ice age. Hikers can peer over spectacular cliffs and enjoy the island's plentiful flora and fauna.
I've heard so much about it, and I always want to come to Grand Manan. It's beautiful down here. So nice and quiet here today. Beautiful.
Birdwatching is one of the most popular activities on the island, and for good reason. Birdwatchers and enthusiasts flock to Grand Manan for extensive and unusual sightings of birds, both large and small. In all, over 360 species of birds have been spotted in the Grand Manan archipelago, with many of them rare finds for ornithologists. Herons, loons, geese, and osprey can be seen along the island shores, while eagles, owls, and hawks nest further inland. The herring gull is a common sight, as are the numerous breeds of duck which populate the area. To the south of the main island, Machias Seal Island is home to a large nesting colony of puffins. Sightings are common in late May, and by mid-June, the summer nesting season has begun. Onshore, the island hosts a variety of land mammals. Most notably, a sizable wild deer population is present. Red-tailed deer are also raised in captivity on the island. Marine life abounds, and harbor and gray seals are frequent visitors to the island's rocky shores. The surrounding waters are also a bountiful habitat of porpoises and dolphins. The best-known feature of the local waters, however, is the numerous species of whales which frequent the Bay of Fundy. Whale watching has become one of the most popular activities in the summer. The waters surrounding the island are famous as host to the rare North Atlantic right whale, which is now a protected species, hunted almost to extinction in the 19th century. There are now only about 350 of these creatures, up to 2/3 of whom make their home in the bay in the summer season. These whales and others such as humpback and minke can be seen from the several boat tours that depart from the island, as well as sometimes from the ferry and occasionally even on shore. Of course, the most popular activity, and also the most accessible one, is simply absorbing the scenic beauty of this island gem. It is little wonder that artists from around the world come here to paint these magnificent scenes and soak in the traditional way of life. No trip to the island is complete without a visit to the recently expanded Grand Manan Museum. Weekly slideshows and talks recount the tales of lighthouses and shipwrecks of years gone by. Here, too, the visitor can learn about early island life and the development of its industry, culture, and communities. It is the sense of community which is one of the distinguishing features of this island. Although the 5 villages on the main island have banded together in a common municipality, each of the villages has its own personality and a fiercely loyal group of residents. This friendly rivalry can be seen in local baseball leagues and other spirited events. Community spirit remains strong today and is a key to understanding the island culture. Groups of neighbors working together for common goals are still a regular occurrence on Grand Manan. Religion and faith also remain a central part of many islanders' lives, and each community takes pride in its local places of worship. Rapidly changing times and off-island influences have not swept away many of the values passed on from generation to generation.
The traditional values are very important to Grand Manan, and I think we've recognized too that the things that we value are the things that people who come and visit us value as well.
Perhaps foremost amongst these values is hard work. Grand Mananers are an industrious people, many of whom have been both resourceful and resilient in making their lot in life secure. Local fishers frequently engage in several different seasonal fisheries in order to make a year-round income. Life here revolves not around the clock, but around the phases of the sun and the moon, the rise and fall of the tides, and the changing of the seasons. The fishery remains the centerpiece of the local economy. The humble but versatile herring is the traditional base of the industry. Herring are caught at sea using boat-drawn purse seines, and more obviously in nearshore weirs. These latter are a hardy construction of wooden poles driven into the sea floor and surrounded with net. Their ingenious design and strategic location trap the schools of herring inside, where they're netted and loaded into boats to be sold to local processors or foreign factory vessels. Groundfish, such as pollock, haddock, and halibut, are caught using hand lines or trawl-type gear. They're brought to modern processing plants on shore, where they're cleaned and filleted for eventual sale as fresh, salted, or frozen products. Groundfish, lobster fishing, and herring forms the foundation of the island economy. Salmon aquaculture is a more recent addition to the island's industrial base. The salmon are raised to maturity in floating pens located in or near the island's many sheltered harbors. The pens are a common sight in island waterways and provide fresh Atlantic salmon for national and international markets. Lobster fishing is an especially important seasonal industry. These tasty crustaceans are sold in fine restaurants throughout North America and Europe.
Got a counter there. This is the measure. Put that in his eye socket. If it doesn't go down over his back, then that's a counter, that's a keeper right there.
During the off-season, they're stored live in local pounds and sent to market as required, thus ensuring a year-round supply for hungry diners. Other shellfish are also part of the local fishery. The sea urchin, scallops, clams, and periwinkles are harvested near shore or dug from intertidal areas. Tidal levels are determined by the phases of the moon and are highest and lowest on the full and new moons. The giant tidal variation can make some local waters unnavigable for parts of the day and also play a central role in the timely harvesting of dulse, the local edible seaweed. In summer, the picking of dulse employs many Grand Mananers. Dark Harbor is famed as the site of the world's finest crop. Dulse, or Palmaria palmata, to use its proper scientific name, is a reddish sea vegetable which grows attached to rocks. It can only be harvested when the tide is low, and often only from remote